Hi everybody, it's Diana at Catherine Diana Studios, and I thought I would share with you a super easy and fun Halloween project for yourself or with the kids, or if you've got older kids, they can do it on their own, of making a holiday Halloween themed garland. And of course it could be any holiday. You can do Hanukkah and Christmas and birthdays and Easter and graduation and whatever you want. Take the colors you want, the scrapbook paper colors you want, patterns you want, grab some pom-poms, maybe some scrap fabrics, cut them into little strips, tie them in knots, and do whatever you want and make this cute little garland. So I was inspired because I saw lots of garlands at various stores and they were not cheap, and honestly they were charging a lot of money for something that just had some pom-poms on it and a few little styrofoam balls and with some, maybe some color to it, maybe not. And I thought, $30 for that? That's a lot of money, because they're buying in huge bulk as a manufacturer of foam balls and pom-poms. And I'm like, they're getting them for pennies and mass producing and charging a lot. So I thought, you know what? I bet you I could make something with all the stuff I have. I bet I can make something. So what I did is I used something that I have, but I also bought something that I didn't have to show you something that you can do. So what you need is some string, some twine, some yarn, something like that, some pom-poms, and cut out pieces of scrapbook paper. And you can cut them out circles on your own. You can do paper punches. I did use a circle punch, which you can get them on sale at craft stores, or watch for the coupons and use those. I think if you had a star punch, or if you cut them out in a star pattern, that would be really cute too, especially for Halloween, if you had some kind of glittery paper or something like that. So, and what I would recommend if you're going to cut them by hand, let me show you first this. Here's, for example, this is the paper, one of the papers I used, and I got this at Michael's. It's two-sided, and I think it was 99 cents. And then I did have this one from a K & Company paper pad, that's probably about 10, 12 years old. I've had it for a really long time. But, if you want to use the exact same, because I kind of look for coordinating colors. Obviously, this has a different finish to it. It's got a bit of a sheen, whereas this is more matte, which you can change that by you can put a little Mod Podge on it, and that'll give it a little bit of a sheen. Or, you can put the clear glitter glue with your finger across and glitter it up, whatever you want to do. But let's say you don't have this paper and can't find it, or you can't find the paper pad, and it's just expensive to buy the paper pads when you can find them. You guys, yourself, your kids, whatever, y'all can draw out little candy corns and make them, and then punch your circles and use them that way. But if you're not going to use a paper punch, what I would recommend, now this paper here was thicker than this one, so this one I'd probably fold over about 5 times. This one I might only do about 3 times. And when I say fold over, here's what I would do. I would cut my paper, let me try this way. I'd cut my paper like into strips as wide as I want them to be, right? So let's say this is cut. Now I just tore this. I just did this video and decided to do it over again. So let's say that this is my cut piece, okay, on the thicker paper. And then I would fold it 1, 2, and 3, like so, okay? So accordion style. And grab something, I've got some tacky glue, put it down, whatever size I want, and draw my circle around. And then I would be cutting out multiple circles at a time. And if your paper's thin enough, you may be able to go 5, 6, 7, 8 folds or more. You'll know by the paper you have, so you can kind of gauge. And the only reason I say not to do too many, because when you start really cutting and it's really thick, you're not going to get clean edges. But if you want to distress look, it's okay. And you may not get even edges. And if it's Halloween, you want distress, then that's okay. So anyway, so that's what I would do if I was hand cutting. Otherwise, you get your punch. I take the bottoms off like so I can see exactly where I'm going, so I don't waste too much paper, and boom. So that my, edges, borders here, you can kind of see a little bit better on this one, where I'm as close as I can get and as close as I can get, so I'm not wasting too much. And a lot of times I'll get even closer where they're just kissing each other. But anyway, so that's what I do, or did. And then I had yarn, and I bought some at a thrift store, but you can pick this stuff up. You can buy inexpensive yarn at craft stores. You can find it at Dollar Tree, Dollar General, 99-cent store sometimes. Mine was from a thrift store. I had this massive, huge spool of it, and I paid $2 for it, and I've had it for I don't know how many years, and it will last me 5 lifetimes. So anyway, so I had that. I punched out the papers. And to show you, this is kind of give you an idea what they look like. I alternated colors with the pom-poms, and you can usually get pom-poms at Dollar Tree and Dollar General and, 99-cent store, and of course at the craft stores too, and find coupons or see when they're on sale. And you can also, if you've got like scrap pieces of paper, not paper, but fabric, you can cut little small strips and you can cut them straight. You can tear them to get that tatty edge. You can use your, what are mine? Your pinking shears like so and get that kind of an edge, or any of your specialty edge scissors, or you can take, well, it's kind of harder with it works easier with paper to tear with a ruler, but sometimes if the fabric is pretty thin, you can start the cut up here and then pull and you'll get a pretty straight cut. It just depends again on the fabric. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on what you got. So, most of the time when I'm working with fabric, I just yank and just what I get is what I get, and I work with that. So anyway, so there's other things you can do if you don't have pom-poms, or, want to do something with the kids. You don't have time to run to the store. Okay, well, hey, here's an old t-shirt that's about had it and I can't donate it, and I was going to use it as a rag, and I got 8,000 rags anyway, so why don't we just use it for this? That kind of a thing. So, anyway, so that's what I did. So let me show you. Punched them all out, and let me find the end of this. And I got to be really careful because I dropped this. Be careful with these. I would recommend when you're storing them on a piece of longer cardboard paper, and wrap it around like so. Because when I did it a little bit tighter, it got a little knotted, and I had to untangle it, and it took me a while to do it. And it was a real pain in the neck. So let me find an edge. Where's the end? There's an end. So what I did to start is I threaded my needle, and you know how all thread, yarn, whatever, usually ends up with a little phrase on the end. Can you see that there, those little pieces? This is something I learned about 50 years ago when I was just learning how to do needlework and stuff. So, I was pretty young, and it was from a craft book from the 20s, or the 40s, sorry. So you just cut this little, you make like a little boat or a little leaf, cut it out leaf shape, and you make it as wide as the eye in your needle. I don't know if you can see that there, the size of that. So you make it about that wide, fold it over, and you make like a little boat. And you put this inside, like so, easy peasy. And even if a couple pieces are sticking out, it doesn't matter. You just go like so. And ta-da, it's on. And you don't have to fiddle around with anything. So I started with a pom-pom. So I found kind of the center, and sometimes there's a hard center in there, really super hard. And you got to be careful with one thing only, is if you get it just right in a certain spot, it can give you a lot of friction. And it's really hard to pull through. And as you're pulling through and you're holding on to the pom-pom, I started to feel some heat. So be careful with that. So I just made sure that it was just in enough to where I gave it a test. It's not going to come out this way. It's not going to come out that way. And that I can tell. Yeah, you can see where it's caught there. I think I probably could have done better. And I just went through like so. Yeah. See, I think I could probably do better. Yeah, I don't like how that one's hanging. You can see how these are. Can you see how it's more through the center? So just make sure you get a little close to the center, as close as you can. Let me do another one. You can kind of feel and go easy because you don't want to poke yourself. That one's a little bit better. There we go. And I can feel a little bit of that friction going on there. So anyway, so that's all I did was I put on a pom-pom, threaded all the way down to the end, right? So I got my pom-pom on, and then I used a piece of paper. So I grabbed my paper. We'll use this one as an example. I'll move that out of the way. By the way, if you don't want these to move, You can just put a little glue on them and they'll stay put. I didn't. I only glued the papers. So I grabbed my paper like so. And I grabbed my Elmer's glue. Just went around like so. Now, honestly, this has a bit of play in it. So it kind of moved around because you want enough glue to hold this on. So if you've got any kind of tacky glue or something that sets up a little faster, I would recommend using that. And then just set this on top. You've got your glue. I just put glue on this end. Set it on top. Ignore my dogs, please. They hear me talking and they're having a fit. And what I also recommend doing is hold it on these ends. If you hold it where the line is, where your thread is or your yarn or whatever, it's going to create a lump. And I have one that did that. It's this one right here. Let's see if I can show it to you without tangling this up. I don't think I can. Can you? I don't want to lift this up because if I do, this could all knot up. But can you see that lump, that crease there? That's because the yarn's going through. So try to just hold on to it here and here till it sets. Then you're good. And then you just thread another pom-pom through. And that's it. Super, super easy. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. I got to just de-stress. And I think this would be something so fun for the kids. And if you don't want the kids to be threading a needle through, they can just take 2 pom-poms. Where'd them? I have a little loose one around here somewhere. See, I set it down and off it went. There it is. They can always just glue 2 together like so. That'd be perfectly fine, you know. Or don't use pom-poms at all, whatever you want to do. There's so many options with fabric and paper and pom-poms and who knows what. So, so anyway, so there you go. So it's on a budget. It was super easy, super fun. I enjoyed it. And this will look really cute decorated around a little tree, around your windows, your front door, you know, doorways in your house, however you want to decorate. And literally was made, this was 99 cents. So let's say you get another coordinating paper. And like I said, I think I said this is at Michael's right now. They have quite a few of them. So if you get something else coordinating, and it can be a pattern, or it can be, you know, just orange or that kind of peachy color, or white or yellow, whatever, or even the gray. Spend another 99 cents. If you've got, probably go to $1.25 at Dollar Tree to find some black yarn, or get some twine. They sell twine there too, and usually it's like 2 in a package for $1.25. And your pom-poms, and you're done. Easy peasy. So anyway, thought I'd share it, and I've got more that I'm making, and they're becoming more and more elaborate, and I just love them. So anyway, but here's this one. So hope y'all are having a great day. You're doing well. Everything's great. You've had a wonderful summer, and I guess that's it for now. So have an awesome rest of the day, rest of the week. Tomorrow's Friday. Yay! And we'll see you again soon. So take care. Bye.